Sydney Formula 4 driver Nick Mittenway joining our commentary team here at Oran Park this afternoon. Nick, we've seen you in sports sedans, we've seen you in Formula Ford, we've got Appendix J cars coming up. Are we going to see you in one of those? You've tried everything else.
Look, I can't say that I have some sort of a threat on my life or anything, but I wouldn't get into one of those things if I was paid to do it.
Well, here they come onto the track. They certainly provide plenty of excitement, don't they? Good old-fashioned racing.
Well, I can remember when this particular series started off some 3, 4, maybe 5 years ago, the man on pole, Bruce Allen, was involved then. In fact, he is one of the instigators of this series, and it's great to see him out running in the Mini. Do you remember the battles he had with the giant-killing, the Chevy Impala of Peter Hopwood? That was really a spectacle, and now he is out there on pole. Next to him is a Mustang, so maybe we're going to see much of the same sort of close, furious racing that we used to see back then.
Hope so.
There's a Valiant. I will refrain from saying anything more. It's one of my favourite cars. That sort of dates me a little bit, doesn't it? But I think we'll have a good Group N or Appendix J race here. We've seen a couple of them during the season at Oran Park Raceway. But I guess the circuit there really lends itself towards the minis. We don't see the V8s come out there all that often, so maybe a chance for the V8s this afternoon to atone. The race will be over the distance of 8 laps on the short circuit, so the drivers are certainly going to be very, very busy.
Bruce Allen, as Nick mentioned, on pole position. Laurie Donaher in second spot on the grid. Then Lindsay Dive, Ray Asher, Rob Tweedy, Brad Tilley, Frank Dartell, Bruce Stewart, Ben Visser, and that rounds out the top 10. Big field of nearly 30 cars to start.
A couple of burnouts on the way up too.
Like one of the interesting features of this series is the tyre smoking tactics that they get up to, particularly coming onto the main straight.
Do you love the leather?
Just fine.
Do you love the leather straps holding down the hood on the Mustang? It's terrific stuff, isn't it?
Great to see. Well, I guess the biggest crowd that Oran Park Raceway has attracted was really an Australian Touring Car Championship round that involved Bob Jane and Alan Moffat in Mustangs.
That's right.
It's my favourite car again. Tilley at the wheel. He's 6th fastest qualifier. 52.33.
That's Brad Tilley, car 60. His brother Jason driving in this race as well.
It's a real Valiant family, in fact. At any one day outside the service station the family owns, you will see 6 or 7 of the cars.
Well, we're about 60 seconds away from the start, so if you like a trip down memory lane, a little nostalgia, we're going to provide it for you, courtesy of Goodyear, with the Appendix J race this afternoon. The trophy race over the distance of 8 laps.
Frank Dartell through the window there in car 48. Another long-time campaigner in this category.
It's like our camera crew.
Yeah, scrambling to clear the grid, and well they might.
Glenn Steer and the boys done a great job today here at Oran Park. So let's stand by now for the Goodyear Appendix J race on the short circuit.
Revving up now, just waiting for the lights to turn to green. Less than 10 seconds, 5 seconds.
Will the Mini get off the line first? Wait and see. Whoa! Stand on the gas. Allen getting away with Donaher. Dive up very quickly too. Asher there, and look at the little Mini starting to feel the pinch now. Looking for the Valiant coming roaring down the outside, but I think it'll be Allen who'll get through to lead the race. Car number 34 locking up a brake as they all turn left, or attempt to turn left through that turn and stay on the racetrack, not out on the grass.
A great start from Brad Tilley. I think he came up about 6th on the grid. He's now up to 2nd place.
It'll be Allen to lead them through Yamaha corner. Tilley in 2nd. Back behind them, Laurie Donaher in 3rd spot. And just watch the Mustang attack the Valiant now as they come down to the left-hander.
Fairly daunting sight for that little Mini, I would suggest.
He's got the Rebel flag on the top of 17. Can he pull out of the draft? Donaher now coming down the inside of Tilley.
Easily.
Very easily. See who wins the battle of the handling department. Tilley carts it in here very, very deep, tries to pull back on the inside. Donoher going through in 17, now picks up second. Bruce Allen still the race leader in the Mini. There he goes, scarpering away from the opposition.
It's Lindsay Dive in car 15, the green Mini. Looking for a way to dive under the Mustang in front of him. And they're the top four as they come around here at the back section of the circuit at Oran Park. Bruce Allen the leader. Laurie Donoher in second.
Keeping an eye there on Bruce Stewart in 84. Bruce, of course, a long-term campaigner. And he's getting up here on the outside now of Asher as they go down the straight. Wasn't too much in that. Now, pulls down on the inside of Lindsay Dive. Can he make it? That was a bold move. Breaks. He moves up on the tail of Tilley. And then looking at the handling of the Valiant, Tilley's divine.
It's a good scrap here for third and fourth spot. Tilley and Stewart.
Bruce Stewart has been around for quite a while. He's been driving in sports sedans prior to the Appendix J's, and we've even seen him at Bathurst. Yep. I think the last time at Bathurst he was teamed up with Steve Masterton.
I think that's great shot here as the cars work the start-finishing straight. That huge crowd in the background. There's Donoher going through. Tilley is the next one.
Stewart, Dive.
Then come the EHs. There's Stewart going straight around the outside.
Heavens.
Oh, well, he sort of cut the turn a bit. There's 84.
Well, Stewart, what have you done? Goodness gracious me. That's a ride on the wild side.
All that hard work has just come undone as Bruce tried to redraw the circuit.
Well, that's an access road for the long circuit that he's pulled up alongside. So he's going nowhere. He exits the Goodyear event, this 22, in the pits with problems.
Ron McDonald in the pits, overheating problem, I think, and I would say he's got no chance from here out because our race leader is scarpering away, Bruce Allen. The one thing I like about Bruce, not only has he campaigned this car long and hard and successfully, but his enthusiasm just never wavers. You turn up at the club meetings and he's there. He's everywhere. He just never misses an opportunity to race.
Great campaigner for the Appendix J movement, or Group N cars, as they're better known.
He really has the legs on that Mustang too. I noticed down the straight the last time there wasn't much of a close-up of the gap.
I think the Mustang might be a little savage under brakes.
Well, these cars, of course, are just so light and so manoeuvrable.
Look at the gap there.
And Donoher, try as he might, as you suggested, throwing the Mustang round in a bid to close the gap, but as a result, it's having to be a little savage on brakes and tyres.
Like that rebel flag. Be popular anywhere from Atlanta to Daytona with that one.
He would have come out of Castrol Curve with about a good 3 turns of opposite lock on there with the back just hanging out on that wall. It's not unusual for these cars to come in and the guys have to wipe sign writing off the cars that they've taken from the wall. How'd you like to be in that car, Wilco?
Well, of course, that was an era of the Australian Touring Car Championship. Norm Beachy, of course, Bob Jane, Alan Moffat, Pete Gagan, so many of the top liners that we saw in action in the Mustangs in the early days of the touring car title. It's totally different these days with turbocharged T-kettles, as they call them.
There's a whole rash of minis over the back of Tilley's car now as they come down the main straight again. Dive also under threat from a couple of his colleagues.
One of them's going to have to back off here in a tick or two. A little nudge there, was it? As the minis scream through the bottom turn and now work on Tilley and the Valiant.
It's Ray Asher and Bob Tweedy on screen at the moment. They look to be pretty much tied up in their own sort of dice at the moment, but I suggest that they're being held back by the Valiant.
Got a lap and a half still remaining. Race order unchanged. Bruce Allen in front. And this is where the interesting scrap is. with the minis coming down here, working away at Tilly. They'll take the last lap board this time around.
It's a hard car to find a way past, but especially here down the straight, because he probably just outruns them a little bit under power. They'll close up again under brakes at the bottom of the main straight.
Actually, they could run side by side and still stay in the draft of the Valiant.
It's probably the widest Valiant I think I've ever seen.
Yep. There's our race leader, Bruce Allen.
Yeah, well, he's got no problems up front and has been since the flag dropped, the pole sitter. And looking at another checkered flag, another trophy for Bruce Allen. Wonderful little car that just keeps notching up win after win for him. And the checkered flag is out. Well done. Bruce Allen, the winner. Laurie Donaher, I think you'll find, is going to hold on to second place without too much trouble in the race. And here's the battle for third. Is he going to get pegged on the line? No, I don't think so. I think Tilly has hung on for third with a swarm of minis all over the back of the big Valiant. But he's survived long enough, I think, to nail down third place.
Oh, that was rather entertaining. The Goodyear Trophy race for the Group N cars, Appendix J vehicles from another era. And the race winner being Bruce Allen. And there's Bruce being followed around by an assortment of vehicles back to the pits. He's entertained quite a few folk here at Oran Park Raceway this afternoon.